Gentlemen, and welcome back to the UK League Championship. My name is Jake Hitbrain Matthews, and once again, I'm joined by Stuart Simmerclap. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty fine, thanks. That the last game was pretty clean. Took a little bit of a long time, but Enclave still having those highlight reel plays and Vaji getting that MVP. It was definitely very exciting to watch. But now we got Demons versus Dogs, I believe, is the
it's Bulldogs versus Diabolus. This is the one I'm very excited for because Diabolus are this LEC sister team Slayer that we've had pegged coming in, and they finally did it in week 4. They took out XL, and it was a good game. It was a really exciting game, and now they're versus a team like Bulldogs. Yeah. I feel like if you're Diabolus, you're feeling pretty confident coming into this, but you know, this is the first time Bulldogs have made it out of the round of 8, so they've got a lot to prove. Definitely a new look for Diabolus, though. Not playing so much around Yusa as they have done in the past. It was Kerberos putting on the carry pants. It was back to Kerb split special. Yeah. That was really nice to go back to the Kerberos' style that we know him for. Maybe one day we'll see the Wits End like Triforce Cho'Gath again, but maybe someday. Until then, we're going to pass it over to Orcs to break down the rosters for the second game.
Hi guys, back once again with your roster breakdown. So we do have the Dogs versus the Demons, which should be a good matchup. Have my eyes on both teams, and we're going to have a quick look at the rosters. I think with Bulldogs, they've definitely had a good showing yesterday. It was their first win of the season, and a big part of that came from the top side of the map. Eagospeed the top lane, Tolium in the jungle, Calwood mid, Gould AD carry, and the Cat support. New addition was that support role. Obviously made a big difference, but also Tolium looked solid on the Nunu, but hasn't shown anything else so far. So good performance, but raises some questions. Over to Diabolus, who are one of our top teams, I'd say. They've put on some really solid performances. We have Kerberos in the top lane, Monk is jungle, Krogs in mid, Yusa AD carry and Hado support. And for once, it was not the Yusa show. It was all about Kerberos yesterday on the split push Yorick. It wasn't a clean victory, but it was a victory over XL, who are one of the top teams in the league and have an LEC sister team, which I'm going to keep reminding you of, just to rub it in. But yeah, solid performance from them, and they've shown that they're not just relying on Yusa to carry the game, because Ichisuo was bit underwhelming, but maybe he'll have more success today. Well, back over to you, Jake and Sin.
I got a tweet from Yusa last week, and he was like, mate, wait till you see my Yasuo. And he pulled the Yasuo out, went like 0-4, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see that Yasuo. Wait until you see the Yasuo, guys. Yeah, we saw it. I do want to have a little look back towards Bulldogs here, because we said, you know, Eagospeed was a big factor for how they got that win. Laning versus Kerberos, this is a pretty tough top laner. Totally, he's not actually a jungle player. Only seen him play the Nunu so far, and while the Nunus look good, hasn't had like the biggest showing yet. So I'm curious to see if that just gets found out, what he goes for as his next pick. So, your phone's going. Yeah, my phone's going, mate. You can just hang that up. Yeah, there you go. Hang that up. And you're all gonna yeah, don't worry about that. Talk to me about Bulldogs.
Well, I mean, Bulldogs, they had the lucky mascot here yesterday, Dog Champ, but fortunately, Dog Champ not here today. So easy analysis, Bulldogs gonna lose.
I mean, I feel like one of their big saviors as well was actually the Cat joining into the team. Yeah, I mean, okay, you want actual okay, right? So yeah, I mean, well, no, he's a Cat as well. That's why.
But the Cat coming through as an addition to.
There we go. It took you a while. No, I got it the first time. Slow.
I got it the first time, but. Cool. Thanks for that, Jake. I really appreciate that. We appreciate you here, but
that's good.
The Cat coming in and just changing it up a little bit, having a different roster, having a different look to the team, and just having a different shot calling unit can change so much. We know they've been improving week on week, and they credited Gofio quite a lot for their success, but all the same, the players individually stepping up, and it's a case of how far can they step up, because they took down Darkspawn, one of our weaker teams. Can they step up to now Diabolus?
I mean, Darkspawn's like the little demon. This is the big demon. This is the big bad demon in Diabolus. You know, this is a team who made second in Forge Champions in the grand final. This is a team that has been consistently one of our top 4 teams for a little while now here in the UK scene. And this is possibly the best look we've seen of Diabolus. Their roster is very well-rounded. The players are individually very good. It was the Yusa show.
It's the best we've seen them since playoffs of last year.
Yeah. It started as the Yusa show, but then we saw that Vladimir in week 3 from Kerb, and looked pretty good. It looked like, okay, maybe he's back on the carries. Then we see him on the Yorick, and he just split pushes to win. So they're starting to flex their muscles. They're starting to expand out of Yusa.
We saw the meta, we saw them, they played away from Yusa twice in total. Both times Yusa's been destroyed in lanes, so.
That was loud.
That was definitely loud, but I need to see them have a balance, somewhere where Yusa isn't just getting destroyed in lane and the enemy bot lane is snowballing to all hell, and at the same time Kerberos is getting a lead. We need to see Monk is able to split resources up, and this is an issue he had last season as well on Enclave. He either put all his resources bot lane or bot lane lost. It was as simple as that.
Well, we're into picks and bans. We've had the Yasuo taken away.
Oh god, the Nunu's
gone.
What is he going to play?
Orianna's going to get banned away here. We're seeing Kroxin getting a little bit of a focus there. He gets one of his mid laners taken away. The Lucian denied from Gould.
Yeah, he's going to be taking away the bot lanes. He's been more prominent on the Ezreal. I've liked his Ezreal so far, but we've not really seen any Ezreal so far today. We didn't really see it much yesterday either. So I'm wondering if that's just fallen off of people's radars with the AD carry changes more and more so.
We saw some pretty good showings from it yesterday, but I don't believe it got any wins yesterday.
Yeah.
It had like some good one-shots, some good poke. But
it was in Axe, but sorry, not in Axe, X-Mati rather. Just going full AP on the Ezreal. That was pretty much the one game you're referring to. The good showing and one-shots is just one game.
I mean, it was a good showing and it was a good one-shot. Anyway, Galio is going to get picked up here. Most likely going to be a support for the cat. Does still have that flexibility, but I'm kind of bored of saying it has flexibility because we know where it's going.
We know it's going to support. We know we know unless there's some severe changes to the Galio and the severe changes to the mid lane matchups, that the Galio is going to be going into the support role, because it's not really winning any matchups mid lane at the minute.
All right, well, that's going to be the Braum locked in for Hado in the bot lane. Looking to see what they're going to be putting in the jungle. It's going to be the Rek'Sai for Monkeys.
And the Rek'Sai still hasn't really impressed me thus far. We saw last game just be pressured out so hard early, but even when he had the opportunity to set up those picks, you have to pretty much flash W underneath somebody, and then the knock-up is so much shorter than it used to be that you don't really have the ability to one-shot anybody, you don't really have the ability to set up picks that well, unless you've got somebody else that you're setting up. And when you're using Rek'Sai as a primary damage source by going Conqueror, it's not really effective at all.
I think, though, if you do look towards the jungle matchup this time, you're not playing into Visek, who's a player who's very good at punishing junglers for their early rotations.
Yeah, you're playing against Liam.
This is a player who's actually a top laner who's kind of filling in as the jungler here for Bulldogs. While his Nunu performance has been good, they're saying, all right, we're going to pick this. If you can't deal with it, you're going to be in trouble.
I like this better, going Yusa on the Ezreal, giving him a safer AD carry that scales well. You can still have the late game Yusa show, but it isn't reliant on snowballing him early, and it doesn't mean that he's going to lose lane hard if you don't put resources into him.
All right, the Poppy gets taken away from Ego Speed. Not going to see that once again from him. It was
the legendary Ego Speed Poppy.
I mean, he Ego sped the victory there. Kerberos going to have the...
I feel like I've heard that from someone else, you know?
I'm fairly certain I said that at the beginning of the day. Yeah. Doric gets banned away here from Curb. Got a fantastic game on it yesterday. Completely dumpstering on it. Zoe gets taken away from Coward.
He's been playing it a few times now, so just taking that one away from him. More comfort picks, but look at what we've got so far. We've got the Kalista, the Jarvan with the Galio combo. This is great as setup for damage, but as damage on its own, you don't really get enough AD in the top lane unless you're winning hard, which you're not really expecting to do versus Kerberos. You don't really have super hard damage from the Kalista until not only the late game, but until she starts stacking up those Ren stacks as well. So I need to see something that can capitalize on all this chaos in the mid lane.
All right, that's going to be the Jax ban. You did hint that it was one of Kerb's champs. It's been a while since I've seen his Jax.
It's a classic Kerb.
I mean, if we're going into
he's going to be happy with the Yasuo.
Yeah, he takes the Vlad, but...
Oh, sorry, the Vlad, rather,
I mean, they're both at the bottom of the alphabet. It's okay.
Yeah. I was just looking over here at the Yasuo, and then the Vlad was locked in at the same time, my bad.
It's, there's another secret pick, which I don't think we'll ever see out of Kerb, but it is there. He's talked about it probably like 3 years ago. We had a chat, and he was like, these are my 3 top laners. One was the Kayle, which he just doesn't play anymore.
Yeah.
One was the Jax, and the other one was the Darius.
Okay, yeah.
Honestly,
mean, to be fair, when we're talking 3 years ago, Darius was actually...
Wait. That's a Shaco. Hold on. That's a Shaco actually locked in here. All right, geez, I like it. I respect that that's what they're looking for here. Really exciting picks coming out of Bulldogs. And what are they looking for as their final
Why do I feel
pick?
like I've seen a Shaco support somewhere?
I hope you haven't.
I hope I haven't.
Not going to go for the team. I'm going to go for the LeBlanc.
This is going to be the LeBlanc going into the mid lane. Okay, I like
Smite
the...
and Ignite. So excited.
Smite
I'm
Ignite, wow.
so excited for the Shaco,
it was just
dude.
like... This is a really solo queue-centric pick, and to see him go for this in a competitive game where it's like, we've taken away your #1 champ, what are you going to play? He's just got to pull out something that people aren't expecting, pull out something a bit more cheese that is still comfortable for him, and see if he can catch Monkeys out, catch him out and surprise him, maybe get Kroxin by surprise as well if you get one of those cheeky fears off in lane.
All right, well, that's going to be Kroxin getting his hands on to the Lissandra. Pretty safe versus the likes of the LeBlanc, but if we do look at the team comps, what are we expecting? What are our like win conditions? Because
I mean, yeah,
I feel like
Diabolus,
Shaco doesn't really fit into this comp, but I'm curious to see what they can do with it.
So let's start off with the easier one. Diabolus, they've gone for a traditional 9.4 comp. You've got this team fight-centric snowball through the top side of the map. You've got the Rek'Sai, the Lissandra as a strong 2v2 that sets up team fights well. And then you've got the Ezreal and the I keep on saying Yasuo instead of Vladimir. The Ezreal and the Vladimir to have this big strength in team fights and have this scaling damage that in those later game fights is going to shred people to pieces. On the other side, it's a little bit more interesting, let's say, as we're going to have to see how the Shaco is utilized. But generally, you want to snowball hard off of the early game. You want to get to the point where you can pretty much one-shot people. So I need to see early pressure out of him. He can't just sit back and go, I'm in a competitive game, I'll just take it easy, I'll farm up, I can counter gank if I need to. He needs to be in people's faces, he needs to have aggression. He's got Ignite for a reason.
Yeah.
So he needs to prove that reason to me here, and he needs to prove that he's not just a sub-jungler coming in and he can actually step up to people like Monk is.
We're going to find out whether or not that is interesting or interesting.
Yeah, just capitalize the INT, exactly. Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, it's different, it's exciting, it's fresh. And oh boy, we take to the Rift for the second game of the day. Diabolus looking to try and get their hands onto that finals. They want to take on a team like M&M. Because if they get knocked out here by Bulldogs, M&M overtake them in the standings.
And interesting start as well, the Rejuvenation Bead from Tullium as well. So we know that Shaco is a champion that generally doesn't need to be leashed for the first buff. He can just put down those traps for himself and utilize those to take it instead. Means that you generally end up with a fair amount of safety in those first few camps, and what that does mean for him as well, though, is he's going to get to the Tiamat that much quicker because he goes this Rejuvenation Bead. He doesn't need to go the potions. He doesn't need that bonus safety. But if they can get into his face, they can pressure him at all, he's going to fall apart.
Well, starting up on his red buff, you can see that Monk is also looking to do the same. If we go for the Conqueror Watch, we have one. We've seen two Callistus so far. I believe Gould was both of them. Both times he's run the lethal tempo, but I have heard down the grapevine about this Conqueror Callista, where you basically just stack it up and then you get like a massive rend.
I mean, it makes sense for the way Callista likes to trade, but all the same is like it doesn't really help her laning phase much, because in a laning phase, what you want to be doing instead is utilizing the, you utilize the rend by hitting a minion once, hitting a champion once, and pulling it out of both, still getting the reset on the cooldown of the E, and being able to get some poke at the same time. So you need to be able to utilize that effectively.
Monk is going to take away his Raptors. We saw Tullium went towards the bot lane to get himself the drugs.
So this is the thing. He went no leash, I believe, on the first start. So he went the red buff directly into Raptors to try and fake that his bot lane was missing, because Kerberos walks directly into lane to see if they could catch him out. But because of the ward on the Tri-Brush, it actually slowed them down a lot on the level 1 and meant that they couldn't get control of the wave. They couldn't punish it. And so Tullium's just free scaling right now, but going to have that Raptors, the little scuttle taken away. Everything's Raptors. It's a big raptor.
Is the scuttle like it's a crab, isn't it?
It's a crab. Yeah. It's called the scuttle crab. I assume it is a crab.
But it's kind of like a bug more than a crab to me. But
and then the Rift Herald is meant to be a corrupted scuttle crab.
Oh.
Because it's in the Baron Pit. It's where the Void, like the link to the Void, and it got corrupted by the Void. It's some kind of lore explanation they gave.
It's better than the old lore where you, the player, were part of the game because you summoned the champions into the Rift.
Yeah, but that means that Flash doesn't have any explanation in terms of lore anymore.
I don't think Summoner's Rift exists in the lore anymore.
I mean, yeah, I think the explanation they've given now is like Summoner's Rift is a fictional place where you're basically playing top trumps with the legends of Valorant.
Yeah, I actually think that is the point. Curious to see where Tullium goes first. It looks like he's having a look towards the top lane. Hasn't been spotted quite yet, but there is
look at that really nice ward there. That's intentionally going, I know how Shaco ganks. I know how to prepare for this. And Curb, smart play, smart presence of mind, and it means that he gets to keep control of the wave.
Biggest speed actually looks to drag into him. A lot of damage gets put down already, but Transfusion will heal him up for the moment.
It's like he knew. It's like he knew the Observer zoomed in on him and he had to make something happen right there and then. This is my time to shine. Dives hard in, but He had a strong performance on the Poppy yesterday. He has been criticized before as one of the weaker top laners in the league, but yesterday showed up decently and was able to pressure out, and so caught out Akers on multiple occasions. We'll see if he can have that kind of repeat performance. They've already forced the TP out of Kerberos.
The spot lane going even for the moment as far as the CS goes. Gould holding out on this Kalista. You can see there is a bit of push. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So small lead coming out for Kerberos thus far.
So we're getting told, so the reason we went a little quiet there was production were telling us that it's Airy on Jarvan, but we knew that, and that's fairly normal.
This is standard now. Everybody goes Airy on Jarvan now. We talked about it in the last game as well, actually.
I thought our observer knew something about the game, but apparently not.
No, it's I wish our observer wasn't a D4X jungle main.
He played in Forge Champions, our
did.
previous tournament. Whole production room, even with my headset on, I heard everybody laugh
you, Mike.
there.
We love you, Mike.
Was that an oof? Oh. I thought we got the oof. I couldn't hear the sound effects.
There we go. But Tillium trying to pressure Monkeys off of this Scuttle Crab. We're having fun here, but we don't want to forget about the game too much. Because this is the 2v2 we talked about. It needed to be Monkeys and Krogs and making plays. This is the playmaking unit for the side of Diabolus.
I mean, Tillium's not been able to make a single play yet so far. He tried top lane onto Curb, didn't work out as Curb had a great ward to catch him. And he's down in CS, he's down in levels, and when you think of Shaco, what you expect is a more snowbally pick, and so far, not really been able to impact the map at all. Didn't actually go into that team at first, went straight into his red smite. As Monkeys looking for the play, the taunt will connect, and Gould uses that heal.
Here we go.
They do get themselves the knock up into the cat, and he flashes away. The Justice Punch not quite enough at the moment, but the Rens and the Ignites are almost enough.
Oh, he's
they do
it.
take him down, and now Gould, 1v2, is looking to get it out, but he's not going to chase for the kill, as the concussive blows will slow him down.
You got Monkeys coming in, burns the flash to be able to get on top of the cat. And he still trades 1-for-1 until Tillium's now standing behind them looking for something.
Hado trying to see if he can find Tillium. Tillium not level 6, but might just go for his red buff.
Still not had that impact, still not proven why he's gone the Ignite just yet. And still not proven why he's gone the Shaco just yet, actually. It's one of those picks. It's like an Udyr in that sense, and you hear a lot of people talk about Udyr. If Udyr gets a kill on the first clear, most broken jungle in the game. If not, Udyr is a terrible jungler that does nothing for the rest of the game. Shaco is very similar to that, and so Tillium really needs to find some kind of advantage soon, because he's already slipping away. He's already 400 gold down, and he needs more.
So far he's looking a little bit more like my jungler versus their jungler. This is
Shaco on my team versus Shaco on their team. Are you one of the people that says Shaco or Shaco?
Now you said it, I actually don't know what I say. Shaco? I think I say Shaco, but I think I sometimes say Shaco. I think I mix it up a little bit.
I know our resident mispronouncing of champions is actually normally goes to Orcs for Yasuo, I believe is the emphasis he chooses.
But he's Northern, so we let him off and not being able to speak.
What's the one he says for Silas?
Or Silas sometimes.
Silas, that's
Silas. Monkeys actually could just...
Okay. He just mucked him, yeah.
I thought he was actually just going to murder him under tower there, but he decided not to.
Monkeys chunking the hell out of ego speed, but this seems to be the thing right now. It's Bulldogs are holding fairly close in the gold lead. It's only 500 difference. But all the same, they are slowly bleeding out. You can see them slowly falling apart at the seams. Bot lane ends up being caught out and starts to lose a CS lead. Top lane, ego speed, has slowly but surely been slipping away, and we're waiting on Krogson to start being able to roam around and make these plays. We're nearing around that level 9 mark where he wants to do that. And it's got to be the first ultimate of the game from Lissandra. That's one of the most impactful. It's very similar. You can talk about that with Nocturne. You can talk about that with so many champions. But if you can make a play that works on your first ultimate, the snowball is there. You start rolling, and you know, you're the ones with the Nunu that time.
Yeah, there's a little bit low HP though. Well, Coward, full HP. Does obviously run that cleanse, so the kill pressure goes a little bit down. Sorry, what?
You meant mana?
Mana, yeah.
Yes.
What did I say?
You said full HP. Sorry, an empty, almost empty on HP from Krogson.
It's one of those days.
Yeah, it's one of those days.
We had 5 games yesterday.
We had one game yesterday where there were 2 kills in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
I was watching that from home, like, how are they going to keep this?
I was watching that from here like this, as it looks like the engage is coming in. Cat looking for the taunt. Tolium hasn't been spotted down quite yet. The Glacial Fish is on, and Yusa is going low. Gould is able to pick up the kill, and now Hado forced to run away as Monkeys just has to ton away to safety, and Coward looking for that assassination, just distorts back. He's okay.
Really nice play there, really nice rotation, and the Cat, I love what he did. He got the taunt off, instantly walked behind the Braum to be able to get the 2-man knock up, not be blocked off, and ensure that they got that play off.
This is one of the powers of the Galio-Callista combo. You can just throw them into the taunt. Already Tolium's forced to use the Q2.
Talked about it a little bit before, but the Callista, the way the ultimate works is if you bounce off of somebody with Callista, you land at your auto attack range.
Yeah.
So if you're a ranged champion, you'll land at max auto attack range. Or for your Galio, you land in melee range of somebody and you get a free taunt off. Yeah, it's definitely really effective if you can you compare it with somebody like an Alistair that we see so often with it. But the Galio, again, we talk about this. It plays very similarly to the Alistair.
This could be that first Lissandra you talked about. Not been spotted out, Monkeys. Actually just gone back to go farm for the moment as the Cat will catch this wave, hopefully, for Gould.
No, he just wants to farm.
There you go. Not quite.
Who needs to donate farm? He's a big boy. He can feed himself.
Now Gould's got himself that Cutlass, as Yusa has got the Iceborne finished up.
So the Cat's come in directly from like his time on. He was on in Proving Grounds. Before that, he'd been in the Newell for a long time, playing for one of the best teams there in UAE Monkey Cage from the University of East Anglia. And he's a guy who's known for making a lot of plays. He's known as a playmaker for his team, constantly wants to be the guy on the highlight reel, wants to be on camera, wants to be talked about on stream. So we're giving him his 15 minutes of fame. But he's looking to try and make plays on this Galio. He's looking to try and snowball the game and be that guy like Raisins was just a couple weeks ago, who can get that MVP even when they're playing a full tank champ. He's known for playing as Leona and Thresh, so he's that kind of guy. He's got a load of pocket picks, so I want to see him, if he still continues to play for Bulldogs, try one of those pocket picks in future, try and surprise people, but the Galio seems to be working for him this far.
I think it's a very safe and comfortable pick here to go for. As do have a little look towards Tolium now, as he's trying to take away that Rift Arrow. Does obviously have his passive, so
reposition. Come on, is he an amateur shaker? You got to stand with one behind the eye, one in front of the eye, so you proc the eye instantly. Monkey's now coming in, gonna pressure him off of it entirely.
Well, that's just keeping his passive on it for the moment, as now Monkeys and the rest of the team coming in. That's going to be a nice massive engage. In comes the damage. Monkeys just gets taken out by Coward. And the flash forward going to be answered out here 1-for-1. But Curb is on that flank. Lands himself a 2-man Hemo play against Tolium. It's just going to take a little bit of a chunk of HP. And that should be that objective going down. Although it might be respawning here in Tolium. Closing in, that pink ward will spot them out for the moment.
They don't want to contest it with the smite and with the Cat roaming up as well. They're conceding bot tower, so Diabolus happy to just give this one up and get a bunch of poke and a bunch of tower shards for Yusa, who needs to get back into the game, needs to start getting some control of this bot side of the map, because now they're TPing down.
Teleporting in, that's a great dodge away. In comes the hero's entrance. The Cat can come in though, they've still got that ultimate available for Gould. Catches him off guard, and Yusa is going to go down. Ego Speed gets the kill, and then instantly dunks Hado. All of the spears are going in, and the Cat gets the kill. 2 quick kills over the Barrage. Bulldogs.
And Bulldogs, they're actually a team this week. They're showing up, they're making plays. And now the Cat, this man isn't really just been entirely putting the team on his back, but just having a different player, a different style of shot calling, a different man making the calls can change so much for a team. And they look entirely different here. Just as the game seemed to be slipping away from them, they make another play to pull them right back into it through the bot side. They're going to get some tower shards.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what he was doing. I didn't see the mini map.
2 people chasing him.
I was like, just double distort, dude. He didn't have it. Is that Curb now? Just zoning away. They have that Rift Arrow. They might actually just plop it down in mid lane. There's only 2 plates left.
They're going to do that immediately. because without anybody able to come up from the bot side, because they were just so busy taking those tower shards that they had to reset, means you get this free charge off. And,
free turret.
Free turret at that, yeah, the first turret gold going over to them. But now what they need to do is rotate onto the dragon, make sure you can do that while they have to deal with the Rift Herald. You get that free time on here.
They're going to be able to take this objective as well. As all the plates then fall off, you can see Ego Speed split pushing in the top lane. Isn't able to do too much to the turret for the moment, as Yusa, Hado, and Monkeys will just work away at this Mountain Drake. Liam now trying to stop Krogson.
So they're going to get that Mountain Dragon. So Diabolus, even though they lose those couple kills, they lose a lot of the bot lane tower, they trade back decently. They get the Rift Herald, they get the mid tower, and they get the Dragon. So actually coming up massively ahead on that one. Diabolus, even though the kills and the plays that are actually being made are slipping away from them, their map movement seems superior. And you know what this is reminding me of now? This is reminding me of Phelan versus Eminem from just a couple weeks ago, where Phelan went 14-0 and were constantly making all the plays to get kills. They weren't making any plays to get the objectives, and so the game slowly ended up slipping away from the side of Eminem because they couldn't force it. They didn't get
They're looking for the engage here.
Bulldog,
the cat does have that taunt, goes in with the Justice Punch, lands it onto 2, and Yusa is just going to be picked up here as Coward gets the kill.
But what are they losing for it now is they're getting chunk on the second tier tower. This is always going to be the case now because Bulldog, they've got the ability to force plays. They drafted the Jarvan plus the Galio combo. They know they can go in. They know they can get these dives working as Cub almost getting the kill there, forcing Ego Speed's flash. This is always the thing now, as we were saying. When the game starts to go towards Bulldog, what are they losing elsewhere on the map? This time they get the bot lane tower, they get the kill for it, but they lose the mid lane tower. And the Bulldogs, losing out on the map.
Throws it onto the clone, but it doesn't matter because that's enough to get the kill onto Tolium.
Because they're throwing on the clone, you get the AoE damage anyway, regardless. You can hit him with a Q.
Oh man, that could have been a double kill if they got the LeBlanc and not the clone.
You know, sometimes pointing and clicking on somebody's difficult, Jake. Give them a break.
Yeah. Here's when there's 2 of them.
You have a Nico cloned as a Shaco, and you suddenly have 4 of them.
I lost a game in the saddest way earlier on in the week. So we were playing, and I was actually trying out the bot lane Yasuo. Was very fed. The rest of my team, all very fed. The enemy team, all 0-7, but the jungle Twitch, who had about 24 kills. And he was 1v9ing that game real hard. His team were some heavyweights for the poor guy. And
had to put on the backpack.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing with some friends, so we had full communication. I was like, look, guys, if we kill this this Twitch, we'll be able to win the game. And one fight, our Malphite gets the perfect engage. We killed the Twitch.
But you had a Malphite, and the Twitch was the one winning it. Oof.
Oh, man. Yeah. So we were winning hard because the Malphite kept getting the Twitch.
Yeah.
And then they sneak Baron away. I blame the support. He didn't have good vision control. What can I say? And we make our way down. They're all low HP. We're like, we can do this. Twitch is the only one with full HP because he had the blade and the and the Bloodthirster. And I'm like, just get that Twitch. If you get that Twitch, we will win the game right here. The death timers are too long. And then the Malphite flash R's onto the Twitch. I jump in with the R. We smack down the Twitch. And when that kill credit comes up, I don't see a Twitch, I see a Nico. And I go, uh-oh. And at that point, the Twitch comes out of stealth. And oh, it's me. He absolutely destroys us and gets a pentakill. And I'm like, to be fair.
You have that sad moment of realization. As,
oh, man. The worst thing was it was like, oh, the Nico was like 0-11. He played terribly. And the one good play he did was base disguised as Twitch. And baited us so hard, man. As we're going to have a little look of a fight here as the cat goes in onto Monkeys, forced to get caught out, and Coward's going in. Turret's going to go down. The hero's entrance doesn't land the knock-up. The Hemo Plague is big, and Tilium is going to get out. Nobody's died quite yet, but it's a 1-for-1. Make it a 2-for-1 at this point as Monkeys looking to flash over. Curb comes in. The flag and drag is on, and in comes Coward. Almost able to get one, but Croxton looks to take him down. Ego Speed unable to turn around as Tilium now might just try to kill. The Ignite is going to be enough. He does fall down, but the full ace for Diabolus.
It's an ace, but he gets the fadeaway Ignite. He gets his moment of glory. And Diabolus now evening out the kill score, snowballing this lead. And once again, this is what we talked about. Bulldog had the lead early, but they consistently lost on objectives. 5 towers to 1, even with this kill score. Diabolus, they're just going to get back into this game with more and more control until Bulldogs, they just can't force these plays anymore.
All right, let's have a little look at that again. That was scrappy.
The Cat's just trying to hold on desperately to keep Gould alive, but he can't hold on long enough, and it ends up just being the rest of the members trying to get anything they can whilst they die, acknowledging they're going to die anyway. But it's this, the ignite insta-death.
He knew he was dead, so he might as well just ignite.
Might as well, exactly, but...
Well, they only lose that tier 2.
Is that the reason why he went the ignite this game? To get 1 kill with the use of it?
Exactly. All right, well, that tier 2 did go down in the top lane. They weren't able to actually crack the base with that, as the death timers are still relatively low, but you can see Diabolus now grouping up around this Ocean Drake. It will help with their siege.
Only 19 minutes into the game. Death timers, as you say, aren't that long, so... once those levels start stacking up, we'll be able to see Diabolus capitalize on fights like that again and again. But we saw how much work Krogson's passive started to do in that fight. With the Lissandra Ice Clone starting to, you know, act like weeping angels, just walk up, tap someone on the shoulder, and then...
The Frozen Fall is so impactful early on in fights. So impactful.
The first game I played with new Lissandra, it was just an ARAM, but like I went in 1v5, I pretty much just killed one person, sat in Zhonya's, had Zhonya's plus stopwatch, and then everybody else died while I was just in stasis. And I ulted myself because the throws and thralls just chased them down. There's nowhere to run. They explode, and I got a pentakill. It was just like, oh, this champion's broken. Okay.
Very impactful in closed-in fights.
Exactly. So if you can catch somebody out in a choke point, you have like the knock-ups from Monkeys and Hado. It starts to really become that much more effective when you stick to people. The slow from just the presence of the thrall allows you to chase people down that much more effectively. And if you stack that up with an Iceborne Gauntlet, yeah, suddenly your cleanup becomes that much easier on fights.
All right, 20 minutes into the game, Diabolus have themselves a 4K gold lead here over Bulldogs. Bulldogs are hanging on. These kills that they've been able to get early on in the game are keeping this gold from being really detrimental. But if you do look towards the mid lane, Krogson now with the Zhonyas, with the Proto Belt, is going to be very powerful in these fights. That stasis, jawing, all of that is it. He can speed the 1v1 here with Curb.
He's got the
does obviously have cooling as well. Going to cut some of the healing, but Curb now with the phase rush throws in the hemo plague and the Tides of Blood. Ego Speed forced to flash away, shield up a bit of that damage, and he'd be okay for the moment.
So they trade Flash for ult. That's the best Ego Speed could get, and try and hold on to his ultimate timer. Maybe try and roam around the map, see if he can get anything off the back side of that. But that's all he's going to get for now.
Curb didn't have Flash in that time as well.
Yeah,
He'll be getting it back soon as well. So, going to be real nice for him. Just going to take a little stock of the map.
Yeah, look at the map. It's just a case of the fact that Bulldogs, they have control of the mid lane for now, but when you can utilize the poke from the Ezreal, you just lose control so quickly.
Tolian's on that flank, actually. Can't find one of the uses. He just arcane shifts away, forced to use that passive, and Zinus is doing a lot of damage here. Ego Speed and Curb going 1v1. Ego Speed always gets the first big burst, and then Curb's the turn it. The Cataclysm comes in. Going to see him go golden. Ego just cancels that out for the moment. Hemo Plague not available quite yet.
So Curb, yeah, he's getting chunked out.
He is getting really chunked out. There's no turret to run to. Proto Belt over him. Tides of Blood and uses the Blood Pool. Curb goes into the pit. Ego Speed trying to get the kill. Almost gets the flag. And Curb gets the outplay.
So close there, and we can see as these champions scale into the game, the fact that the execution is there makes it so much harder for the kills to come through for Curb. But all the same, Ego Speed does still go down the advantage just a little too much in favor of the Blood God.
That True Shot Barrage really hurts.
Yeah, that tends to happen at this point in the game. He's not even got his AP yet, and we saw yesterday how much AP Ezreal can hurt.
Krogson has a Medjais. Maybe a little bit of a salute towards Ego Speed's Poppy yesterday, where he built Medjais.
I mean, is that more of a throwback towards Afflict's Sejuani?
Well, he's winning, so no.
Maybe. But the 1k gold bounty on top of the Medjais means that one death costs you that much more. So I definitely think that Might be a little bit risky on Krogson's side, but he has all that safety from the Zhonyas on top of his ultimate. See, if he can stick with his team, not get caught out of position, and get vision control of Baron, which they've lacked for a while. We were taking stock of the map before, but we didn't really get much of a chance to look at it. It's just all this vision down the line of the river from Bulldogs consistently. They need to be able to push it up further and force a play again, and because they've slipped away in the gold lead, it's harder and harder for them to force one.
You see Bulldogs definitely trying to get the hands back onto these lanes, try and take out some of this vision control, but Diabolus has been able to put down Atelier. Might just be caught out here. He's going to lose his invisibility. That's going to be the hero's entrance. They're looking for use of the Ignite is on the redemption. Coming down for the moment, and Gould looking to chase. True shot barrage rips through them, and a great block up for the moment. Now another redemption comes up, and Monkeys looks to enter into the fight. Gets himself a one-man knock-up, and Gould will fall down. Cowards on that flank. They got himself TP. 2 kills already for Monkeys. In comes Krogson. Yusa does have TP. Hemoplague's been thrown out, and Ego Speed flags and drags away. Throws out the Cataclysm, and Curb is going to be able to get himself a kill, but Yusa snipes it away. The Cat gets himself a kill. The turret goes down. 24 minutes on the clock, and Coward has to try and hold out as Hado's forced to flash away from the tower shots.
And Krogson has TP as well, so they can keep this one going if they want, but it would be very risky. They are just going to slow this one down. Oh, that's going to stop you from ending the game, and it stops them from getting the inhib. Stalls it for Bulldogs, who lost another fight there of Tolium being out of position, and I was about to say, he's becoming more of an annoyance than really a champion at this point, where these traps on warding spots are getting in the way, slowing you down a little bit. But that's all Bulldogs can really do, stall, slow you down.
25 minutes on the clock, they're going to get themselves their second Mountain Drake. Does help with this team who have a relatively slow Baron. Double Mountain does mean it will go down a lot quicker, and looks like actually Bulldogs, the team who can take a Baron fairly quickly with those Rens. They get spotted out there by the True Shot. The teleport's coming in. They know this is happening. Already throwing one into Curb. Curb not going to be able to get out as he just... Sorry, can get out as he just home guards away to safety. And now Krogson and Monkeys looking to open in. Tolium's passive. Ulti is going to try and jump in. This is going to be the fight right here. Monkeys is on a killing spree. One-shotting members as Krogson takes down Coward. And in comes the rest of Diabolus. Jumping into the fray. Hemoplague's onto Gould, and Gould is going to die at a curve with a 1v1. 16 kills to 11, and only Ego Speed remains. The Baron will go down.
And Diabolus have been chomping at the bit for a team fight like that. They finally find one. They get the Baron at 26 minutes. And now, with a 10k gold lead, there's very little Bulldogs can do to close this one out. Before they close this one out, rather.
Yeah. Well, Bulldogs have sent Ego Speed to try and stop this inhibitor going down, but Diabolus now go, hey, we got Baron buff and more members. We're going to take this.
Yeah, with the Ezreal tower damage as well. Again, we keep on saying not even at his second tier yet and still chunking people because he's got that much of a lead. 5-3-3. And has that bounty on his head as well. So much gold into his pocket.
And Krogson has a bounty, Monkeys has a bounty. There's a lot of potential gold if Mirage can get it, but it's Bulldogs can get it, but it's so hard.
But this is the sad thing. They force so many plays early on. Oh, Curb gets rooted.
He's going to get picked up here. That's going to be him going golden for the moment. Does not have that flash. Does have the Proto Belt though, and he's jumping away.
Okay.
Able to get that kill.
For a minute there, I was starting to think maybe he could get out. That was a...
Oh, Cat takes the claw over. The True Shot's coming down. Liam's going to get healed up by the Redemption.
Oh, no!
It takes him out with a Proto Belt. In comes Yusa. Hero's entrance is not enough to get him out, and now the Frozen Thrall is chasing away. The claw is on, and Monkeys is chasing in. Yusa finds himself a double kill into Diabolus, and looking to close this game out right here.
Liam, he held out in the edge of the Redemption, praying for the heal, hoping that would keep him alive, and then Krogson's Proto Belt was what ended him, and that's going to give them control of mid lane. They already have Baron. This super minion wave is arriving. Can they utilize this now to get the Nexus Towers?
I think they can. They've got supers, but for the moment, they're actually looking to try and take a second inhibitor down.
And there's nobody to deal with these waves on the Nexus Towers as well, so as long as they stay in range to keep them Baron empowered, this is just so free for them. They end up walking out with so many towers, and very little Bulldogs can do once again.
Well, they have to fight now. Already, Gould makes so much HP. He's able to get out.
There he
Monkeys
goes.
just executes him in with the ultimate. The inhibitor guns down, and Monkeys has found himself a double kill. Bulldogs are forced to run in, and that's going to be a Cataclysm by Ego Speed for the moment. The turret is not being focused here. Diabolus are going for the glory kills. Another kill picked up for Monkeys here as he's got himself an unofficial triple, gets himself another one as Krogson takes him down, a double kill onto the Lissandra, the full ace, and now the base to follow, and Diabolus are going to be going through to the finals.
And Bulldogs, they had their moments, they were able to force plays, they were able to at least make a couple of plays that in other weeks they would have just slipped away, but the step up that they made yesterday wasn't enough for them. Diabolus still looked like a considerably stronger team, and well, they really took it to them after that win to XL, still looking so strong. I
think coming out of the first 2 games, everything's gone as planned. Everything's gone as we expected. Now we've got Enclaves versus Diabolus. This is going to be a game that tests both of these teams, because Diabolus are a team who are currently sitting, I believe, 4th in the league. Enclave, I think hot on the heels. I don't think Enclave are in 4th. I think they're in 5th. But if they can get this win, if they can get onto the tower challenge and maybe put themselves at the top of the tower again, could be really, really big for them. So it's definitely a point for these teams to kind of prove themselves, because this can put you a lot higher up. But our MVP coming out of that game was Krogson.
Yeah, he's able to force so many plays on the Lissandra and constantly getting in the face. Struggled a little bit early. The first ultimate didn't really come until around level 11 when the plays were really being made through Monkeys, but what he did from after that point was monumental to their victory. Consistently finding people out of position. We saw what he was able to do to Gould there at the end, nearly one-shotting him. And so him and Monkeys, that 2v2 duo that we talked about as the win condition, definitely proved their worth.
Now, coming out of that game, if you think maybe Krogson didn't deserve it, I think like someone like Cat, even though they didn't win, the Cat played very well in that game.
Yeah.
You can actually head over to our Twitter at LVP UK, and at the end of this show, we will put ourselves a vote up for our unsung hero, and we'll be announcing them next week or on the Twitter if you can't wait later on. So the end of the show, there will be a vote going up, and if you have a player that you really think played well, maybe earned the unsung hero, let us know over on that Twitter. Pretty good game though. I mean, now we need to take stock. Now we need to look at the Enclave versus Diabolus.
Versus Diabolus. This is one I've been very excited for all week since we saw those semi-final draws. We kind of figured this would be the matchup, but all the same, the way it's come to be, Enclave playing through Visek and Voji, and we saw this time around Diabolus playing through mid jungle as well. This is going to be explosive in the mid game. I'm so excited for it.
Well, you're going to have to hold on just a moment, because after the break, we're going to have Diabolus versus Enclave. The winner of that will be taking on M&M. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.